Bonjour avec Jum. La suite, bien évidemment. Donc qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait chercher? On va chercher jumelles. Sœurs jumelles. Alors ces deux-là apparaissent parce que c'est moi qui ai mis sœurs jumelles. 7 entrées et on n'est que limité aux 5 premières. En fait, je ne peux afficher que les 5 premières vidéos, donc il faut que je précise ma recherche si je veux la suite des autres vidéos. Donc à la rigueur, il faudrait que je retire ces deux-là pour avoir les deux suivantes.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Elle est étonnée? Non, mais non.
Are you out of your mind? Twins? Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
Ok, il faut qu'on recherche Florence. Par contre, il faudrait que je retire sœur jumelle de ça. J'avais recherché Anna et sur Anna on était tombé dessus. Donc je vais retirer pour que on ait une autre vidéo. Voilà.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic.
Le grenier, c'est important.
And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Ok. Divorce. Toujours cette histoire de grenier. Oui, bah oui, prince et princesse. Hein. Je trouve aussi qu'elle parle beaucoup de prince et princesse. Par contre, c'est cette vidéo qu'il faut que je retire sœur jumelle pour avoir la dernière. En fait, j'ai pas besoin d'ajouter jumelle puisque la vidéo la sort déjà. Enfin, la recherche la sort déjà. Donc là, on va voir. D'accord, c'est une autre des sorties qui... Par contre, on est bien d'accord que c'est sa sœur jumelle. Alors, j'ai envie de chercher Florence, qui est censée être sa mère adoptive. 5 résultats, on est bon.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was
Miroir.
me.
D'accord, donc elle voyait l'autre petite fille vivre la vie que...
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there.
Histoire.
I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family. but her husband died in the war.
Mort
That's
à la
back when
guerre.
you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Wow, mort de guerre. 20 ans. Attendez, mais ça colle pas. Sa mère avait 20 ans quand son mari est mort. On est en 94, elle a quel âge cette dame? Enfin, elle a une trentaine d'années. Si son mort... En fait, à quel âge elle a volé cet enfant?
No, it was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week. They got to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
Fausse couche. Attendez, elle a trouvé...
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed.
Morts dans leur
And they'd
lit.
been there for days. No one had noticed.
Ok, 5 résultats.
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until...
Ah.
Well, it was only a few months after.
Je sais pas si c'est lié à...
No. I lost the baby.
On va se concentrer
I
sur
had a
le 2 du
miscarriage
coup.
at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until... Well, it was only a few months after.
Une histoire avec les parents de Simon et... voilà.
Then my parents died.
Attendez,
It was the worst year of my life.
la pire année.
Miscarriage and then my parents.
Donc c'est ses parents. Ses parents biologiques, finalement, sont morts dans leur lit. Un voisin l'a appelé, elle a trouvé ses parents morts. Et elle parle toujours de la pire année de sa vie.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
Mais du coup, j'arrive pas à savoir si c'est Eve ou Anna. Est-ce que les deux sont en vie? Alors, attendez. Je vais juste noter ici stérile. Je sais pas si les accents comptent. Là, on est sûr que c'est Eve.
This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again. But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Eric had given him a full-time position after he left school.
Eric.
And then...
Alors, attendez. C'est-à-dire que celle qui a les cheveux attachés, ça serait Anna. Et elle qui a les cheveux détachés, ça serait Eve. Donc, Eve a été déclarée morte-née par la femme de la sage-femme, qui était Florence, qui son mari est mort à la guerre, elle ne s'est pas remariée, elle voulait des enfants, donc elle a kidnappé Eve et l'a élevée. Eve a vu en permanence Anna dans en face, hein, dans la maison d'en face, un peu, on va dire. Florence est tombée dans les escaliers. Eve a lu le journal intime de Florence où elle décrivait que ce n'était pas sa vraie mère. Du coup, elle s'est baladée dans les rues, mais elle a gardé, on va dire, contact avec Anna. Elles ont grandi ensemble. Anna était toujours discrète. Eve donc, faisait toujours le premier pas face aux hommes. Sauf quand Anna a rencontré Simon. Et ça n'a pas plu à Eve. Donc potentiellement, Eve aurait tué Simon. Et il y a encore les vrais parents, enfin c'est les vrais parents à toutes les deux, et du coup les vrais parents de Anna qui seraient morts dans leur lit. Mais c'est potentiellement peut-être Eve qui les a tués. Eve essaye potentiellement de tout faire pour que Anna et Eve aient les mêmes faces d'un miroir. En fait, que ça soit leur reflet, qu'elles soient identiques. Donc le fait que Anna ait trouvé Simon, ça ne plaisait pas à Eve, parce que du coup elles avaient une différence.
It wasn't the present so much, it was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story.
Princesse encore?
He made it specially for me.
Le mot princesse, c'est le prochain mot qu'on tape. Le mot princesse, 11 entrées! Ah oui, il va falloir être plus précis alors. Ok, il va falloir...
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since. Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Je voudrais bien les autres entrées. Mais elle cite tellement de fois princesse que c'est presque cuit en fait. On a trop... Ah, que 7. D'accord, bon bah ça va.
Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding. But if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell.
Elle a un
The
tatouage.
dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's.
Princesse
The
Diana.
train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
Princesse Diana, mariage. Sur les autres, elle a des manches longues, donc faudrait regarder s'il n'y a pas un tatouage. C'est peut-être une façon de les distinguer, mais j'en doute.
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories. We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
Conte de fées. Alors je sais pas, est-ce qu'il faut un S à compte... Oh 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 oh. Ok.
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
Elle parle beaucoup de réponses.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play out there and make up our own stories.
Alors, elle parle aussi beaucoup du grenier.
And the glaziers. I worked there some weekends and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children.
Eric.
Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of the
Prince,
books.
conte de fées. On s'éloigne un petit peu du décès de son mari quand même. Hein. Enfin, de...
Simon never cheated on me.
Scorpion.
He was
Elle a un
devoted to
tatouage
me,
de scorpion.
and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other.
C'est moi ou elle a quelque chose au nez?
Life isn't a fairy tale.
Ouais, non, c'est un vieux reflet de merde.
Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale.
Ok.
I remember the ticket, of course. I paid it without telling Simon. Didn't want to get told off. And they put points on the license.
Ok. Là, il y a amende. Permis. Donc je suppose accident, voiture, quelque chose comme ça. Et pourquoi il y a fait Alors cette histoire de morse me... Ok, bon, il n'y a que ça en morse. Eric. On parle beaucoup d'Eric. 14 entrées, merde, il va falloir préciser.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Je suis même pas sûr que je suis censé taper ça, hein, parce que...
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day.
Vendredi.
He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job, but he didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Je rappelle qu'ils vivent chez les parents.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Okay.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Well, Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Sa femme s'appelle Diane. J'ai l'impression, c'est marrant, sur certaines photos, qu'elle a un nion ici, comme si Anna s'était fait frapper par Ève. Je sais pas si vous voyez l'idée. Après, je me fourvoie peut-être complètement. Hein. Regardez, ici, là. Là.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. Yeah, that's Simon's watch.
La montre.
It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time. It must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Ça devrait m'éliminer, j'étais à Glasgow. Glasgow et on reparle de la montre. On va rechercher cette histoire de montre. Parce que...
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off Ceefax, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Attendez, quoi? Considère que je l'ai pas vue, celle-là?
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever...
Considère que je l'ai pas vue, celle-là.
Not really. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Ok.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Ok.
He was wearing a shirt.
Ça, c'est sa description au moment où il
Blue turtleneck
disparaissait.
shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric.
Cadeau.
He had his coat. A long
Ok,
grey
non, je
duffel
pensais
coat.
qu'elle... Non, elle s'est pas plantée, c'est bien la montre, elle est bien... c'est une jolie montre.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Quoi? Alors là, par contre, à cette vidéo, j'ai rien compris.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Donc elles se sont mises d'accord pour tuer Simon. Elles se sont mises d'accord. Alors il y a le mot cave qui est important, donc il y a la montre, et elle a dit c'est le bébé qui était important. C'est la première fois qu'elle parle de la cave. Le miroir, c'est pas la première fois. Alors là, j'hésite entre bébé ou cave.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Sam's parents on the phone.
Il vivait pas.
I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff. Sad stuff. About when we lived there. About the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff. Stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Elles ont découpé le corps.
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
Bon, il n'y a pas de café, hein. Dans leur tasse, il n'y a pas de café. Alors j'hésite entre bébé ou café. Alors je vais taper café pour le plaisir, mais... Oh putain. Ok. On va regarder café, hein. 18 entrées. Oh la vache.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday. We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time with the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Alors pour les dernières phrases, c'était le bon temps, plein d'espoir, blablabla.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Ok, donc je vois qu'il y a beaucoup d'entrées, hein. Par contre c'est un peu compliqué d'avoir les suivantes. On voit hein, toutes les recherches que j'ai eues. Eric a 14, mais ça c'est normal. Il y a quelque chose qui me perturbe depuis tout à l'heure, c'est le tatouage. Tatouage et café. Hein.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Ok, lunettes. Par contre, j'ai toujours pas trouvé le bouton pour... Ah, ça, c'est toutes les entrées. Oh! C'est toutes les entrées que j'ai dans les vidéos. Ah ouais, il y en a un paquet. Oui. On va voir la suite en prochaine vidéo YouTube.